Hi gang, here we are at the Edge Power Sports, another installment with the dirt bike community. We just wanted to talk about some things that as technicians we see quite a bit, even on the sales end of it we see quite a bit of it, is just doing some simple maintenance cleaning on your motorcycles. I always make the joke lightheartedly, but we do take it with some seriousness. Don't skip the 7 car washes on the way to your local dealership. One thing you may notice if you go into your service department area and you take a scan over all the service area where your technicians are, their toolboxes are loaded with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of tools. The last thing we want to do is stick it in a pile of mud or dirt, and honestly it makes our job more complicated, and which in turn brings it more to a higher bill on your end. We actually charge quite a bit to wash your bike off. We charge 50 bucks on most parts to wash all the mud and crud off. The reason we charge that much is we don't want to wash your bike. We want you to do it. So if you could handle that for us, that would be awesome. We really appreciate it. It's kind of like going to the dentist and not brushing your teeth before you go for a visit. Definitely take care of the machine. Now, if there's something specific on your bike, like maybe you've got an oil leak or a fork seal leak that you want us to identify and you don't want to wash it off, we totally get that. But if it looks like you just rode it off the trail and brought it into us, don't be that guy or that girl, one of the two. So the other thing on just doing some cleaning on your bike before you bring it in to have it consigned. You know, my goal here is one of the technicians when I check in bikes to be consigned or trade-in sales is I evaluate the bike. I go over it and I usually give it a number score of 1 through 5. 5 would be excellent, almost brand new. 0 to 1, pretty poor shape. So if you can spend maybe about 2 or 3 hours on just washing your bike, maybe tightening some things up, just give it a quick little maintenance. Doesn't have to be a full-blown rebuild, but it shows that maybe you took care of it on your end before you brought it in to us, and you want us to evaluate and see how much value you can get out of your motorcycle. Just kind of an old story. When I was a kid, I used to turn a lot of cars when I was 19, 20, and I always used to laugh because I would guarantee make 500 bucks each time. All I had to do was wash it. That's it. Wash the vehicle. So if you want to bring your value up on the machine that you're trying to trade in, just give it a bath. Show it a little bit of love before you bring it in. That way we're not trying to peer past all the mud and the crud, and that's going to actually up the money that you get back on your purchase or your trade-in on it. So if you look at this bike, this is actually my personal bike that I've got up for sale. It's a 07 DRZ 400. It's got a lot of fun goodies on it. But if you actually peered in all the nooks and crannies, you could literally eat off of this motorcycle. I take a lot of care in keeping my machines clean, and that way when I turn around and I sell it, I can get more value out of that machine as well. So plus, if there's any problems with it, I can spot it out easier, and I can be totally upfront and honest to whoever's looking at buying the motorcycle after I've had my time on it. So some tricks that you can do if you have an air compressor at home, after you've washed the bike, take your air pressure hose and you can blow out all these little nooks and crannies, and that's really going to get a lot of that crud out of there. If you've got some good spray-on polish, just hose the thing down with it and wipe it all down. It's going to bring all that plastic and all the rubber luster back up to where everything looks nice and fresh, and it actually looks like it's been maintained a little bit. Same thing with your axle assembly areas. If you've got a bunch of grease and grime in there, maybe hit it with a pressure washer, and then after that blow it out with some air so you're getting all that crud kind of blown out of there, and then you can really start detailing it from that point. So just some little tips and tricks. Same with all your switchgear control. Spray it down with some spray lubricant, give it a little wipe down on it, and that way all these little parts and pieces look fresh. Some things that I did to my bike before I actually decided I wanted to sell this machine. I had some fun little get downs on the handguard areas, and so I just wanted whoever purchased the bike after I owned it to just kind of start out fresh. So I purchased some new handguards for it. These are the turn signal incorporated handguards. Got some new rear turn signals for it. So everything's nice and fresh for the new owner on it. This bike does also come with some spare dirt wheels. I cleaned those up as well, so that way they can just put those on there and they can rock and roll. It's got a fresh oil change in it. If that's something that you want your local shop to do, when you bring it in. That's one thing I definitely recommend when I do consignment checkovers or trade-in checkovers, is if the oil's dirty, I'm going to recommend that the oil be changed. So these are all things that will benefit on getting your machine sold a little earlier and actually upping that trade-in value as well. So show your bike a little love before you send it off to the new owner, and hopefully that should kind of increase that profit margin back a little bit too. Well, gang, hopefully that helps out. Clean bike is a happy bike. Hopefully you get it dirty in between though. Have a great time out there. Hope to see you next time. Thanks.